Hello, folks. I am back with another firearms review, and I was at my local range today. And unfortunately, the owner of the range that I normally go to, you'll probably see the name on my targets. It's Clayton's indoor range, and that's in Horsham, PA. Unfortunately, the owner has passed away, and a lot of people that view my targets sometimes know that particular range, so because a lot of times they message me. So my thoughts and prayers are going to be with his family at this time. In the meantime, do have a review, and this review is going to be on the CZ SP-01 Tactical in Urban Gray. Uh, Now, I had a PO, I believe it's the PO9 Urban Gray, and so I sold that one because I wasn't really still happy with the grip on that, and because it was a polymer grip and it seemed too thin. But with this particular one on the SPO1, I like the steel frame, and I also like the way these rubberized grips are. So a lot of people change them out to lock grips, but I tend to like these. I'm not going to go through all the specs and whatnot because they're pretty much the same as the SPO1. Just the difference is it has a threaded barrel, and of course, you see the really high suppressor height sights on here. They do glow in the dark. I believe it's a trinium night sight, so you will be able to see these in the dark. And also, for some reason, they do put the 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 sight dots in the front. These are not trinium, but for some reason, CZ decides to do that, and I pretty much don't get it. But I'm pretty sure there is a purpose. Uh, my first CZ was the SPO1, and I've really fallen in love with that firearm, and it's one of my favorite CZs, and it was the first firearm that got me into CZs. Uh, and as you see here, this is it right here. This is the safety version, but this one has a decocker. Now, to me, there is a little bit of difference between the two besides the visuals and the lanyard loop. To me, I think there is a difference in the trigger. And the trigger on this particular one is extremely smoother than this one. And I'll give you an example. This has been safety checked, and here's my snap cap in here. And I am going to rack the slide. And of course, since this is the safety version, it does not have a decocker, so I had to bring that up safely. Now, when you pull the trigger on this one, it's a smooth pullback. It's somewhat stout, but I would give it like a 9 pound pull because I've been shooting this for quite some time. I roughly have about 2,000 rounds or more on this. So this has more shooting time on it. This one I put in today since it was new at the range. I put in roughly 500 rounds or more. Now, this again has a snap cap and it has been safety checked prior. When I pulled this one, it feels like more of a stouter pull. Like maybe this is somewhere between a 10 and a 12 pound pull. Now, I don't have a lining gauge, but that's how it feels to me from the pull of this trigger. And this was very smooth when I first got it, so I didn't have pretty much too much of an issue. It was probably around 10 pounds, but it was just so smooth. And just doing this from the take up standpoint right here, you hear that click right there, and it's smooth. And here is your reset. And yes, the reset is a little bit far. That's normal for CZs with this particular CZ. And a lot of people don't like these curved triggers, but I'm used to the curved trigger and I kind of prefer it with this particular firearm because this is, after all, supposed to be a combat firearm. Now, with this, like I said, is a harder, heavier pull. And there's your take up there. It seems like the reset is a little shorter than it is on the other one, but I think this one is a little smoother. And some I don't know if this is true or not, but my understanding is because this has less mechanisms for the safety as opposed to the decocker, this will be a smoother shooting firearm and it would shoot smoother. Like I said, I don't know how true that is, but that's what I read on some forums that the people prefer. Some people prefer the safety version for that reason in particular. But getting back to this, uh, this is like I said, it's just like the original SP-01, except for there's a little color difference in the suppressor height sights as well as the threaded barrel. Uh, and it does have the capacity, I believe, is 18 rounds plus one. So you got a lot of firepower through this. This is a rugged firearm, and it has been used in not this particular model, but I believe the SP-01 has been used in some of the European police departments as well as the P-01. Now, with this particular firearm, I really had a reason for purchasing this one. And what I wanted to do was, you're probably saying, what are you going to do? You got this here with the threaded barrel. Well, I plan to get a suppressor for this, probably a silencer co, maybe like a 45 version, so that, well, more like a multi-can, because I want to use that on the CMMG Banshee and also be able to use uh, that suppressor on this one. And this is right now, I'm going to say, the only suppressor firearm that I have currently. I do have a 509 tactical, but what I did with that is I put a comp on there, and that comp is fixed on there, so I will not be taking that comp off of that barrel. It's going to just be dedicated to that, and I will probably, this will be the first firearm that I'm going to actually use a suppressor. This is going to be long down the line because I do have a suppressor that's in jail right now. There's no conjugal visits with that, so I'm waiting on that. That's for the Rattler, the Sig Sauer Rattler. So I'm waiting on that, and as soon as I receive that, I'll put in my paperwork for a tax stamp for this particular firearm for the suppressor. And the multi-can is going to be perfect because I can go from my favorite calibers of 45 and then to the 9, and I can buy additional barrels. But as far as this particular firearm goes, this is what this is for. Like I said, it's a pretty good bargain because you do have the suppressor height sights already on the firearm. You have a lot of people like the cockers. I'm more of a single action guy, but it's whatever floats your boat. A lot of people like these. I prefer the safety version for cocked and locked usage. Other than that, I just want to show you just how it's kind of funny that somebody said to me, "Why do you buy something that's so similar when you can add certain things to bring it to that part?" Well, I like this in its stock configuration. Like I said, I train with this. I shoot this a lot, over 2,000 rounds, and I really like this in compare to my P226 TAC Ops. And just to look at the from when it goes from this configuration to this configuration and to a competition configuration, which is pretty unique. It's kind of like the evolution of the CZ75 family. So it's good to have a firearm that's completely stock, and then you have one that you might want to customize out, or in this case, this is going to be a special purpose one, and in this case, of course, this is going to be like a competition target firearm. Now I'm just going to show you some targets how I did. I At first I really think that this was sitting, I believe it sat 2 years at the store. And the reason why I said that is because I've been looking at this for a while now. And another way to tell is, but not always, there is a what I call a born on date, but manufactured date. This is the year that it was out on your CZs. You, if you see like a 17 for 2017, an 18 for 2018, and so forth. So this is actually the year this was manufactured. So I've been looking at that firearm for a while right now. And here's the first targets. This is at 10 yards. I'm trying to feel my way. I'm thinking I was pulling low right. And I'm trying to figure out what the suppressor height sights. And it took me a little bit to get the hang of it. As you see, these right here that are way off, these are from the double action pull. Like I said, that double action pull is, well, to me, is stouter than my standard SP-01, and I'm really surprised at that. Here, I'm just trying to get it. I was trying to determine whether I needed a 6 o'clock hold or not, and that's where these are. Again, these are also double action first pulls. And then I got tired of all this going on, so I decided to just shoot one shot in double action. And as you see, look how far that one went. And there's nothing wrong with taking your first shot on double action. It helps you be disciplined and trained in the shooting your firearm. One thing about double action is it works as as a safety precaution. If you have something in your someone breaking into your home, this will also help you to get off the trigger a little quicker, because that first shot is very stout, and then the subsequent shots are basically in single action, but this helps for your first shot. And the rest, all of these were shot in single action. And I got it to where I want it to be, but I still want that group to be a little tighter. There's a little fist there, but I still want that a little tighter. Other than that, I think I need to put several more rounds in this. Maybe it needs to be broken in, maybe a little bit oiled up. I do oil my firearms after I purchase a firearm. I do oil it so it can, so I will be able to have some type of less friction of the slide as it cycles back. And as you see, it is dirty. You're not getting a good picture of it, but it is dirty inside there because I just came from the range. Other than that, I'm looking forward to breaking this in a little more. Probably in the future, get the suppressor. I probably won't put in my paperwork for the suppressor for this until maybe towards beginning of summer, because I'm still waiting on my other suppressor for my Rattler. So other than that, that's all I have, folks. And all I can say is happy shooting, stay safe, #2A.